All right. So please forgive me for my background because I'm in school where I work. Um, yes. So this is a quick summary of the pig record sheet that people are asking for videos and all that. So a quick one. This is the home page or the menu page. Then you have first of all your breeding stock. So you enter the breeding stock AA, BBB, CCC for the souls, right? And then once you enter the date of birth, it gives you the years or the age of that particular breeding stock. This is important because it helps you to know which one is getting too old. And then you have your boas, their what do you call it, their name or their ID. And then same thing here. Then we go to mating, right? So once you come here to do your mating, so anytime you mate your pigs, all right, anytime you mate your pigs, you come and select from the boa ID. Now, this is based on what you entered in the breeding stock list. So it will automatically update the list for you. What happens is people press here, it's not here. It's supposed to be inside the cell. Then sometime when you press, you see the list will go down, or the scroll wheel or the scroll bar will automatically take you down where you have no list or no pig in that record. So you have to scroll up to find them. So this is the boa, which is BABA, and then the sole ID was BBBBB. So once you select from your list, then based on this date mated, you have the testing date which you should do here. Although I have given the standard ones, you can set them here. Number of days to check pregnancy is 24 days. You can make it 50 days. I don't know how you do it. So number of days from birth to weaning. So from the time, what time do you want to wean your animals? And then number of days from birth to maturity. How many days old do you count them as matured for either meat or for selling or for, how do you call it, reproduction? Okay, so the number of days from mating to farrowing, which is a gestation period, I know for pigs is 114 days. So probably after checking the breeding stock list, the next thing to do is the breeding cycle or the numbers and dates. All right, so then after you've entered your mating, it tells you that on the 24th of May, based on this. Now, some people, this is my format. What I realized is some people end up getting the days, so the thing appears as hashtag like this. So once you have that problem, you just have to stretch your colon. As you can see, stretch your colon, and then you have the date appearing normally. So for example, let me enter the date method for this 5th June 22. So once I enter this particular mating, the boa AAA, and then let me put here. Okay, so DDD. So ABAB, Ababa, and DDD, the mating date is this. Then when to test the pregnancy or to confirm the pregnancy. So once you confirm, you enter the results here. All right, so pregnant or not pregnant, let's assume it's pregnant. So expected dates of delivery. This is to help you keep an eye on who is next to deliver. Who is next? I know people write it on their pens and all. It's good, but you see, what the difference is, this gives you the ability to summarize all that is happening in a simple document. All right. So okay. So you can even go straight here to Farrowing records or Farrow records, or you can come back to the home and click on Farrow records. So when all is said and done, date farrowed, you have to keep, it's a separate record. So date that a particular litter was farrowed. So then you can give it a litter ID. This is, yeah, I'm sure you should have a litter ID. However you want to name it, it's up to you. So and it's not necessarily a prerequisite just for the sake of identification. So then you have to go back and track the mother and the father of that particular letter. So then if you remember, which you can check from your records. So when you look at this uh, date furrowed ID, the date furrowed, you can use it to compare the expected due date. Usually it works like that. Or if you can remember the exact combination. Then you have the soul ID, number born, males and females, which I'm sure you can determine on the first day of delivery, or let's say a week or 3 days after delivery. So then here you have a record of your mortality. So once you keep entering, it keeps you updated. So total left is 10 and 13. Then winning due dates or winning date due. Again, I would advise you increase this to make room for those dates. However, if yours appears like this, you may not need it to be too big. All right, good. So winning due date tells you that on the 4th of June, I'm supposed to win these guys, and whether I want to sell them or not, it depends on these dates. So you can also go to winners record. So you come here. Now here is a winning record of individual picks. All right. So no. Sorry, this is the general one. So we have that for the sheep. Sorry. So the date born, date winned, later ID, which you saw over there, you can decide to add it here. Then the Boa ID of that particular later, and then the soul ID, the total number that were winned, and then also and then the average weight, mortality after winning. Do you record any mortality after winning? This is really too low, so let me reduce it. It doesn't give a good picture. All right, so total left. Then this one, you have their maturity due date, which is based on the date that I think I said 150. So 150 days from now, this should be matured, and you can see their current age as well. Right? So I think 6th September, okay, shows that they are 5 months and they were born on 9th April, right? Here, 9th April 2022. Date when shouldn't be there, I mean, how? Let's say on the May. I'm just trying to make the records look real anyway. So then it gives you the date, or what do you call it, the age of those winners. So sometimes once you check this, you can use it to see whether it's time for them to go or they are keeping too long at the farm, blah, blah, blah. All right, next thing we want to look at is, this is what we just looked at. So health and medication, the date that particular medication was given, name of drug, purpose. You have a drop-down list, treatment, prevention, supplement. Okay. I think vaccine, I don't know. I don't think pig has any vaccine. If it has a vaccine, can you let me know? I'll add it to the drop list. So administered to, then you can write probably the identification of that, but I don't know what you would want to write there. So then comments, this is, you can insert your comment, blah, 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 blah. So you insert your comment, and I would advise, if you have more than one comment, just use a full stop and continue typing the next thing, full stop, continue typing the next thing, or you can use numbers 3, 1, you understand? So something like that. Then we go to breeding dates, which we have already discussed with you. So then sales record, a very important aspect as well. So the date sold, the particulars, categories that you sold. So this place you have a drop down list on options between winners, growers, and matured pigs and spent breeders. So customer name chop bar, restaurant chop bar, Kwame Tap, farmer A, farmer B. So number sold 10, 10, 10, and then the amount you got from selling these ones in all. So as the days goes by, or as the days go by, you keep entering your records. It's unlimited anyway. It's unlimited, unlimited, and even when you get to the limit, you get to create more space. All right. So let's go back to the top. Usually, when you get lost somewhere in the middle here, the best thing to do is to click on either of these dates and press the down arrow key so that it takes you to the first list or the first on the list. So from here, you can go straight to the sales chart, which is here. Then this gives you a summary. Wow, this is really a bit technical. Usually, when people have issues with this, I would rather like them to call me so they need to keep the relationship going, because some of them, some may just not get in touch again ever. So usually when it gets there, I would advise you to approach me and let me explain things better for you. So this is simply a summary of your sales. So here you have February, March, May, and June. This is based on what I've entered. So with yours, once you enter, you can come here, refresh it. Right click in and refresh to keep the data updated. All right. So once you open this, it gives you the specific dates all those sales were made. All those sales were made. So in summary, April you sold 30 pigs and you got an amount of 6,500 cedis or whatever currency you are using as the profit, the total income, bro. So you see it here also that April you sold 30, May you sold 70, June you sold 33. And then also category sold, you check which category you sell the most. Okay, so you can always go to the sales record from here and come and update it. And then here we have the graphic data. Graphic data is simply this converted into graphs or diagrams. So here you have sum of numbers sold for each month is here. So well, I believe you'd understand it. So here you have sum of the month of May, 8,000. It's just a simple graph. Okay, you can always close it. I think the smaller, the nicer. And then here, down here, you have, where is it? Okay, so category sold, percentage of the categories you have sold. So usually you get to know that my strength is in selling winners, or my strength is in selling spent or matured or growers. So usually you master where it also helps you to know what category of pig sells the most at your farm and in pig farming in general. You can always use it as a case study. Then you can go back to the home from here. Then we have production summary. All right, so number of pigs born for the year or for the years. You can use this for over 5 years. So number of pigs born for the year is 26 based on my record. Pre-weaning mortality was 6. Pre-weaning mortality rate was 12%. Livability or survival rate. You can always come and check here and use to check your sales to make sure that everything is balanced. So total number of pigs weaned successfully for the whole time or for the whole period. Now, when you can always come and compare it to this, the chart. So number of pigs sold here shows, well, the data I'm giving is just a dump data, so it may not. So once you come here, you should always compare the number sold to your to your, oh, come on, production summary, yes. So you should always compare it to here. Total number of pigs weaned, if you are talking about winners, average winning weight, post-mortality, post-winning mortality, blah, blah, blah. And then also mortality rate and livability, post-winning livability rate. And then we have number of pigs raised from birth to maturity. So this should also line up with total number of pigs sold. All right, like I said, it doesn't really match up, so it's okay. Total income sales from pigs sold. Here I'm having 22,800. So let's go back with that. Done with that. Done with this. Then feeding schedule here is basically you should know how much you give every category of pig for business purpose. You don't just I don't believe you just feed them for the sake of feeding. So quantity per pig, just like we have for poultry, in kilogram, let's say pregnant sows, sorry, you give them 12 kilo a day. These are all guesses. I don't know. Nursing sows, you give them 15. Winners, you give them 5 kilo. Growers, let's say you give them 7 kilo. Breeding boas, let's say you give them 10 kilo a day. Resting sows, you give them, let's say, 10 kilos a day. So once you have all this, and then now you come and tell us the number of pigs you have for each category. So let's say growers, you have 50. Breeding boas, you have 5. Resting sow, you have 12. Then it quickly tells you that, okay, so I have 114 pigs at the farm currently. And then also total amount of feed to be given to them every day. The whole squad will be, that's a ton of feed to be given based on this. This is not reality. I don't know what goes into feeding pigs. So this is the total you're supposed to be feeding daily. Now for a month, if you are buying your feed, you can use this to know how much feed you need to buy for the month. If you are dealing with a third party or a manager, he can't cheat you with this, and you can't also create any iota of doubt in the minds of your CEO. So this brings you to a level where you all know what you are doing and what is going into the pigs. Then the performance data is also simply a record of what is happening on the farm, boa by boa, sow by sow. So in the month of March, number of pigs born, or sum of pigs born, for May was 14. Okay, and then for March, sorry, and here for May is 12. Then some of males who were born during the same month, and then the number of females. Because I think females sells more, so it's good to know the difference. So same way, once you update it, you always come here, right click and refresh. It should refresh. It should refresh. Then over here, you have a profile or a simple data summary of all your sows or your female goods. So here, the source ID which you entered there. So number of pigs that have been born to this particular sow, the number of males and females, and then this one is actually number of liters which appear there as count of date farrow. The reason I don't try to change the name is it may change once you are updating yours back to this. This is the default name. So I will just let you know that the count of date farrowed is number of times it has given birth for the year or for the period, right? So same for this, same for this, same for this. This is for the purpose of what we call curling. So when you realize that a sow is not performing based on this data, you can decide to sell it or curl it or whatever you want to treat it or something. So then here too, we have boa's performance, each boa and how many pigs have been born to it. Females. It's very good to know that so that you know which one is prolific or which one is very productive. Okay, so I think we are done with this. Then income expenditure is really normal. Everything is normal about this. So you enter your date, particulars, income category, which you always have to insert here, insert categories. So once you insert blah, 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 expenditure summary categories too. So anytime you need to do your transaction, it will ask you to enter one of these amounts. Then if you had an expenditure on the same date, then you have to enter it. If your expenditure is on a different date, please kindly enter a different date for the sake of summary or data analysis. So this tells you go back to the main home or go click here for income expenditure chart. So this is the chart. At the end of the day, this is your chart. So it gives you a summary. It gives you a summary of how much you are making or how much is going out and what have you. So month of April, total number of income was 4,000, expenditure was 400, profit or loss for the month was 3,600. Same applies for May, same applies for June. And so this is also something you have to refresh to keep it updated. All right. Then you have a little graph here that just gives you a simple graphical presentation of what is happening. So over here, without even going into the numbers, you know that there is a drop here in May. All right, so I think there is more here. Good. So this is actually a chart. So the income based on category sold. So over here, I have breeders, a total of 4,000 spent on breeders, a total of not spent. Total of breeders sold was 4,000. That's the ones who are 5 months old and you're selling them as breeders. Then winners 300, spent layers. So in me, my farm, I know that breeders sell better than all the rest. Then you have a graphical pie chart to present that. Okay, so another thing is category of expenditure. You know how much you are spending on each expenditure category. So feed, this is not a reality. I mean, feed should be like 20,000. So cost of labor and then the water that so far you've been using. There are more categories there. Once you insert them, you are good to go. Then this is a pie chart presentation of it. So that is it. Let's go back and back. So I am done with this summary, and this is just how the pig production one look like. It's quite similar to the rest, especially the livestock, the sheep, the goat, and all that. So you can always grab your copy, link me up or link up with me in the number or the link up in the description box, and let's talk about how we can help you. Listen, the amount is not the issue. We are just trying to help farmers. I'm a farmer, I'm a data scientist, I'm an IT personnel. I teach in the school IT, and I just thought it wise that farmers need something that is handled like this to keep their farm running or to keep their eyes on their farm. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.